What's up, guys? So, gonna do a real quick weekend recap from May 25th, this past weekend. It should go quick because I didn't get a chance to see any of the fights. I read the reports on the fights. I apologize that I can't give a full-on, detailed description of the fights, but you know what? The fights weren't big-name fighters anyway, so I don't really think, I'm just going to tell you the impact of the fight and what I read. I do apologize, though. I was out of town. My sons both sons had a baseball tournament, so we stayed out of town. They actually did pretty well, though, if that counts and matters to anybody. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. Let's break down the weekend and see what happens. First, on DAZN. The main event there was Devin Haney, an undefeated lightweight prospect on the rise right now. This guy proved something. He took on, I believe the guy's name was Antonio Moran, who I best knew him for a close decision loss to Jose Pedraza last year. And that was the fight preceding Pedraza facing Ray Beltran and upsetting Beltran for the world title. And Pedraza, who's a top 10 lightweight still, struggled with Moran. So Devin Haney destroyed Moran, knocking him out in the sixth round, I believe. Impressive performance. This guy's on the rise. You're really going to want to check him out. I can't wait to see what Eddie Hearn has for him next. I hope he gets him in there in some kind of an eliminator, because the kid is right on the verge of the top 10. He's not in the top 10 yet, but he's very close. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 10 after his next fight, possibly. So we'll see what happens. The next card I want to look at is the Fox Sports 1 card, which saw Austin Trout, former world champion, taking on Terrell Gausha. Well, it looks like Trout is right on the verge of dropping out, and he could very well drop out of the top 10. He took on Gausha. The fight ended in a controversial split draw. From what I read, everybody felt Gausha should have got the decision in this one, and he got robbed. So much so to where Austin Trout said he wanted a rematch, but Gausha said he wanted nothing to do with it. So, interesting turn of events there. Trout, to me, what that tells me is Trout's probably, now going to become the gatekeeper. This is the guy that you can go fight and beat if you want to make a name for yourself. Erickson Lubin is already calling Trout out, saying, hey, I'll fight Trout next, and I'll knock his ass out. I wouldn't be surprised. And if anything, this opens the door for Austin Trout to fight somebody, better and legitimate. So we'll see what happens. But, that's what happened in the main event there. And now the ESPN card saw Jose Pedraza actually returned and fought Antonio Lozada, a Mexican veteran. And it was a good, tough fight from what I read. And then Pedraza stopped him in the 9th round. So I think Pedraza gained a lot of confidence from that fight with Lomachenko, even though you can argue Lomachenko wasn't at 100. So he was coming back from a shoulder injury. But I think he gained a lot of confidence from that. And going forward, I think he's going to fight these up-and-comers or whoever he can, because he wants to prove himself. He wants to prove his name. So, that's an impressive, performance for him to knock out a veteran like that in his first fight back. And, because especially since Pedraza's not a big knockout artist. So, good win for him. Congrats. And then in the main event on ESPN, upset occurred. American Jamal Herring scored a huge 12-round unanimous decision upset over Masayuki Ito to capture the WBO world title. Big-time win for Herring right here. Not just capturing a world title, pulling out the upset, but to beat a guy to come in, and it was actually it was a really sad but uplifting story that this was the same day that his baby daughter passed away 10 years ago. And for him to be able to, on this day, pull off this kind of performance and capture a world title was huge. So, strong performance. It's going to lead to big things next. I'm not sure if there's a rematch clause in his contract. I guess we'll get into that when we do the what's next on Jamal Herring. probably next week. But yeah, just a big time win right here. Congrats to him. And that's the weekend recap from May 25th. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.